Hello and welcome to A View from the Stands. Welcome to all football fans. And today I'm bringing you the latest Aston Villa transfer news. Before I go any further, please hit that like button, subscribe. If you're watching live right now as well, feel free to get in the comment section. And if you're watching on replay, feel free to make your thoughts and comments on the video as you watch throughout, as there's lots to offer and lots of insight today. And once again, the Aston Villa rumour mill keeps spinning. At this rate, we're going to have enough wind turbines to spin to keep this country energy friendly and clean, because there's lots going on. We're going to be bringing you the latest news, a German forward in Beier that we're interested in. Of course, as well, we've got an Italian wonderkid defender at right back that's also been spoken about from Fiorentina. And of course, Samuel Iling Jr. Well, listen up, people. His medical is booked in, it's tapped, and it's loaded. So big up to everyone. Make sure you smash a like. Let's see what's in the house right now. Big up to KS6, to Alan Ford, my lord. Big up to Solly. Big up to Julia as well, to Michael Huggins, to VJ, and big up to Brummy Beastbox as well. Hey, and big up to all of you. If you are watching, it is great to have you in here. And Al is in the house. I just saw that message. But look, as I said, do smash a like, subscribe, and get in the comments as we bring you today's latest news. I want to start really simple and really quickly, and that is on Samuel Iling Jr. Of course, medicals are important, and medicals are something that I like to know are being checked in, because obviously every now and then a player can fail his medical and therefore it creates complications. But just so everyone is aware, Samuel Iling Jr. medical has been booked in, as Fabrizio Romano has reported for us all, and big up to Fabrizio. He has said Samuel Iling Jr.'s medical will undergo as Aston Villa player on Tuesday. Iling Jr. will sign a valid deal until June 2029. Villa laying down another massive contract as well, which is what we like to see. So yeah, medical this week for Enzo Berentia as well. And then Dougie's doing his. So literally it's medical FC again in what I'm talking about. We've had Ian Matson medical news, Douglas Luiz and him are doing it on international duty. But Samuel Iling Jr. will be coming to Birmingham. He can see the sites. He's going to have his medical done at Aston Villa, and that should be done and dusted next week as well. Because remember, people, we have a big 30th of June deadline. So Tuesday, this video has been recorded on the 24th. Expect him to have his medical on the 25th and the paperwork all done and dusted by the 26th or 27th. So, yeah, hope everyone is good. Hope everyone is well. Hope everyone is enjoying the fact that we are having medicals booked in. As one player comes in, I'm sure we'll have players being announced to leave, as Rachel just said. So expect another announcement tomorrow. We've had Lewis Dobbin. He was announced yesterday. Well, I expect another one of these guys to be announced soon. So there we go. I wanted to get that one. But of course, the big feature of today's video is about the two new transfer rumours and links that we're linked to. We've heard about Samuel Iling Jr. for a while now with Enzo Berentia as part of this swap deal. Well, now it's time to look forward about some new transfer rumours, new names that have not been in circulation. And so I'm going to start off with the more, what I would say looks like, I don't know, maybe less favourable one. And it's really hard, basically, because it's not being reported by what I would call a tier list one journalist. When we talk about tier lists, we're talking about the best. David Ornstein, Fabrizio Romano are your classic tier one list journals. When they report it, it's usually pretty solid. However, this one is not being reported by a tier one list journal, and therefore we have to ask questions and think about what does that mean. Do we take it for credibility, or do we actually look at it and go, no, pass on this one? Because as always, there are rumours and you have to sift through them. So I want to confirm this isn't anywhere like a Samuel Iling Jr. level. This isn't an Enzo Berentia level deal. This is a rumour. This is a rumour. And Alan Ford is saying we're putting together a very talented squad. I would massively agree on that, by the way. The squad depth is growing and growing. But let's see what happened. And big up to AVSC 9082s in the house and Unai Emre as well. Make sure we're smashing that like button, people, as we're watching this video. So let's go to it. Here's the source. Here is the news. And I want you to sort of understand my thought process on this, because it's all about, as I said, sieving through the details. Is this legit, or is this something that we should probably wave away? So Villa Report comes in with it as well and says, and as I want to always say, when I use Villa Reports, and make sure if you do follow have X, they're a good credit of source to use. Villa Report basically recycles and reposts any journalist who creates Aston Villa transfer news. So I'm not saying they are the source, they're just a repost. It's whether then you have to do your own background checks to know how you feel about it. So it says Aston Villa submitted a first proposal of 15 million euros plus add-ons. The add-ons things always interest me for Fiorentina right back Michael Kayode. And I might be saying that wrong, but I'm going to go with it. Michael Kayode. Now, the journalist in question is Alfredo Pedrula. Translate the bio. Red Footballer Market every evening for 17 years on TV dello Sport. So basically, an anchor, a presenter in Italy on a channel called TV dello Sport, which again, if you go to that channel, it should let me go to it. Here it is, Sport Italia. It's a Sport Italia TV. It is a station, 161,000 followers. It is a station, a national broadcasting station in Italy. So, how do I feel about that? Well, before I'll stop sharing the screen. I don't rate the tier of source. I'll be honest. I think it's a shoddy. I think it's not a strong source, but it's potentially an Italian rumor. Now, why do I say I don't quite trust it? I say this. I think Italians football are linking themselves to a lot of our players. We've seen Matty cash interest a lot with the Milan clubs. We've seen obviously the Juve and Douglas Luiz situation. So there is that little bit of a relationship with Syria, and there is that relationship in the sense of we have been looking maybe to go out there. But my big thing is this. I feel like it's not quite a strong, credible source. But nevertheless, we're going to have a look at him. So you may or may not agree with me, but it's up to you. I just want to give you my feelings. I've done a little bit of research as well on that Sport Italia. It's not a strong broadcasting network. It's not like your Sky Italia. It's a little bit different. So there we go. But yeah, Michael Huggins says he always waits to see the player holding the shirt. So that is interesting. This one is credible, says Kyra, and I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Do you believe this is a credible source? Do you think it's a little bit of Italians pushing players to us? We know we need a right back. We know that Matty Cash is being linked away. We know that Costa Nedeljkovic is probably going to go back out on loan. So the right back slot is open. We are going to be linked, I feel like, to copious amounts of right backs in the next 6 to 8 weeks. You're going to have right back link everywhere. So look, I'm going to sift through this. And I believe, though, this would be a nice, little tasty sign. I'll tell you why. And big up to Vamos Video. Vamos. Big up for your super chat. I really appreciate it, Vamos Video. Nice for the dono. But yeah, they're just getting on the bandwagon. I think we're interested, but it may not happen, says Rachel. And I agree. So here we go. This is an interesting article that I wrote. No, I didn't write it, which I read about him. And Michael Kayode, okay, is known as the dueling roadrunner. Take note of this. The dueling roadrunner, aka very good one-on-one defensively, and is an absolute athlete, an absolute engine on him. Okay. So they this article, Scouted Notebook, by the way, it's a paid subscription, but you can get a sort of insight into it. April 17th, 2024, this was written, so quite recently in April. And Michael Kayode is a what they call an FM wonderkid. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger, so hopefully you guys can see it a bit more. Okay, if you are a Football Manager player, then you may have heard of this guy. If you don't play Football Manager, then let me know. But if you do play Football Manager, have you heard of him or come across him in the game? Because it says FM24 players assemble. It's time to talk about one of our favourites, Michael Kayode, and his exploits in the world. So clearly, when you get a wonder kid on a Football Manager, right? Tends to be they go on and do absolute bits in career mode. Doesn't always work out in real life. But this is where it gets interesting. Kayode is a player he's tracked since early 2023, since he watched him in an under-19 Euro qualifying for Italy, a journey I followed all the way to the Italian side winning the tournament in July. So pause for a second. He's won the Euros at under-19 level with Italy. Good start for me already. I'm interested. Let's keep reading. And again, by the way, people, there's a lot of people who like to look at stats. There's a lot of people who like to look at numbers when it comes to footballers. I'm actually more on the other side. I'm interested how you guys feel as well. I'm more about opinions of people who watch these people week in, week out. When Chelsea fans try and make an opinion, for example, on an Amari Kellyman or let's say John Duran, their best source is to ask us, not the minimal stats that they have on Kellyman or the rare stats they have on John Duran. Ask us. Ask the fans who watch him week in, week out. So I take this article as the sort of same. I'm looking at this and going, okay, I want to read about what someone who studied him, again, as almost what I'd call a neutral, studied him and looked at what he's done in his career. So Roadrunner, let's read more about the Roadrunner, because what a nickname that is, by the way. I'd love to have a Roadrunner team. I particularly enjoyed watching Kayode's technical development. He was a fumbly, clunky on-ball player during qualifying, but emerged as an effective attacking outlet for Italy, even playing minutes on the wing to add athleticism and speed to their attack. Basically, the guy, Michael, he developed throughout the tournament from the qualifying stages, his technical ability improved, and guess what we have? Guess what we have? We have a manager who's great at developing young technical players. It's almost like we want this profile of player. But let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. So we particularly enjoyed the technical development. But Kayode has shown the most promise as a lockdown defender with his dominance over Ajax Carlos Forbes in a UEFA League Manchester City side in that competition. Watching him got me thinking about his skill set and how to maximize it at the top level. Imagine a lockdown defender like Aaron Wan-Bissaka with the offensive weapons to be a positive going forward. What could you do with that? Okay, so what vibes am I getting? Well, these are the vibes I'm getting, chat. The vibes I'm getting is this. He's been related or linked to the way Aaron Wan-Bissaka defends one-on-one. Now, you may or may not hate Aaron Wan-Bissaka. You may or may not rate Aaron Wan-Bissaka. But what we've got here is a player who's been compared to him defensively. Wan-Bissaka's biggest flaws and questions have always been his attacking output. But there's a lot of people who will tell you Wan-Bissaka one-on-one defensively is one of the best in the game. So I'm happy with that comparison. Yeah, so listen, again, it's a young gamble. It sort of fits the profile that Unai Emery sort of wants. And defensively, one-on-one is something that we've also questioned Matty Cash on a lot. Can Matt Cash defend one-on-one? Ezri Konsa, of course, though, has shown us that actually he can do that. And therefore, I'm looking at it and going, okay, I'm interested. I'm interested and want to hear more about Michael Kayode. So he says, you know, the past 2 decades have seen the very good defensive fullbacks replaced by those more inclined to attack. But proper two-way unicorns have been rare. I like the way he's called it a unicorn compared to that. But what he's basically saying is you rarely find a player who's good at both attacking and defending. You're either an elite fullback at going forward or you're very good defensively. But where is the hybrid? And where is the hybrid in that? Kayode is not there yet, but his trajectory is promising. He's set about establishing himself in the first team at Fiorentina this season, a task he's accomplished remarkably. He's played over 2,000 senior minutes so far, despite never stepping foot on a senior pitch before this term. Pause again. Pause again, because this intrigues me. So we're looking at these youngsters, like Kellyman, Timo Rigman, who have clocked up nowhere near 2,000 minutes of game time. Even Iling Jr., who we've just signed. So we're looking at a young lad who's broken into the Fiorentina side and he's gone and clocked up 2,000 minutes worth of football. I'm happy with that. It sounds promising. He's experienced that loads, and this year has been a successful year for him. And the price we want to pay, 15 million plus add-ons, I'm starting to like this idea. However, it is not a dead cert set in stone, and maybe it's a bit of a gamble. Can we keep relying on young wonder kids to come into our squad and not really get the game time and chances and hope they come through? Or do we need to be patient and try and find an experienced one, as some of you would say, like an Acuna, like a Frimpong, that are a lot harder targets to get hold of. The balance is going to be difficult. But big up to everyone's watching. As Julia said, need more likes, show Josh some more love. Yes, please do hit the like button. And big up to everyone's here. Please feel free to have your opinions. Solly has said Aaron Wan-Bissaka has been brilliant. Hold up play and tactical ability. Can't cross very well, but 1-1 I would agree is up there. And that's what we're going to get out of Michael Kayode. Got a good left foot on him and likes to attack in the 6-yard box, as Alan Ford, my lord. Josh, if left back and right back signs come in, imagine Acuna, Dumfries, Kayode. We've got, of course, Ian Matten's coming in as well. It's the depth and the balance could be there. Young experience is maybe what we're after. Young players who've cropped up minutes. So just finally on that, basically he got his game time through a bit of luck. There was an injury to the Brazilian right back Dodo, which thrusted responsibility onto Kayode's shoulders early in the season, and thankfully he's done well to do that. So look, interesting. He's an athlete. He's a ball carrier. He's got great athleticism, hence the nickname Roadrunner, and he is a good one-on-one defender. I'm all interested. Are you? That's the question. But how high is our ceiling? Are we trying to go for the wrong caliber of player? Do we need to be looking at more experience, as Solly has sort of said in the chat, or do we actually really need to be trying to hench in on these wonder kids? So thank you to everyone who is watching. We have got another piece of news that I want to share with you. And as I said, if you are watching on replay, go and give your thoughts and opinions. They're all welcome. So the next piece of news then is the striker. And this one is getting me more excited. Of course, this piece of news came in really late. And I'm going to give you again, we're going to go through the same procedures. But this guy has been linked with some top sides. And here we go. Here we go, people. Michael Dimmock likes it. Got a brilliant heat map. That's what we love to see. That's what you would expect from a road runner, right? But yeah, first of all, let's go to the Villa report, as we always do. Aston Villa have concrete interest in Maximilian Beier. Now, concrete interest, and I've read further on this, means the following. Aston Villa have wrote to, I believe it's Hoffenheim, and asked for more information on the player and his release clause. What I can tell you is, after doing some research, his release clause is a lovely, and I think it's quite good for a forward player, 30 million euros release clause. 30 million euro release clause is the rumoured price to get Maximilian Beier. When you talk about forwards, and when you look at the forwards, that is actually not bad value. It's not bad value for a forward player. But what's enticing me more is, again, his profile. And we're going to look at his profile in firm interest here, chat. We're going to look at his profile in firm interest. But before we go on to his profile of who he is, his age, etc., let's go to the source, because I always say I like to look at the source of where this has come from. Rachel's made a very good point going back to Michael Kayode, that he says how Unai Emery likes to play. He likes athletes. Exactly that. Why can't I love that his nickname is Roadrunner. Michael Kayode's nickname is Roadrunner. I'm all in for it. But there we go. And big up to Ken M. Ken M. What a legend you are, my friend. Thank you for your super chat. And Ken M, I hope you're excited for the season as well. But here we go then. The credibility of source. Add this to the stage now so you can see it. So I thought, okay, another source I haven't heard of. It's not a tier one. It's Florian Plettenberg. Now, just because he's got a blue tick, people, doesn't mean he's legit. So let's go to Florian Plettenberg and find out who this guy is. Well, obviously, first of all, he's got a lovely picture with Harry Kane. I've interestingly heard this guy on TalkSport before give some news, because I've looked at his name, and I remember driving back from an away game last season and hearing a preview, and I remember hearing this guy's name and voice. His voice does not match his name, his face. That's what I can say. But anyway, that's another story. But yeah, here we go. He's a Sky reporter / moderator. He does a transfer update on this show. So he's a Sky journo. FC Bayern transfer news. So he specialises in Bayern Munich. So to cut the story short, he specialises in Bayern Munich. He works for Sky and he likes a bit of German football. It's not, again, a very strong source, in my opinion. I'm going to this guy and I'm thinking it's not the strongest source. Now, again, if you do a little bit of a Google search, you'll see that Maximilian Beier has been linked as well away from to other clubs, such as, Chelsea, who've been massively linked with him. And there's another report down here that I'm reading that also Manchester United have inquired about him. He is known as a German wonderkid. So we've got a bit of a wonderkid show today in terms of Maximilian Kayode and now Maximilian Beier. Roadrunner, I like it as a chant. Exactly, Will Munder. Exactly that. But yeah, let's have a look then at his overall profile. Now, again, opinion pieces. If this one does heat up, I'm going to look at a bit more opinion pieces on him. Maybe not statistical, but let's have a look at opinion pieces on him. So, where does he play? Here we go. Let me share this for you, people. And by the way, I really appreciate everyone who's coming out here for the 10 p.m. shows and watching it on replay. It's been really enjoyable to try and be consistent in giving you Aston Villa latest news. I love this club so much. I love talking about it. I love the transfer window. And to see you guys still come and support it is massive to me. So thank you so much. So here we go. He's 21 years old, okay? He's obviously German. He's a centre forward. He plays for Hoffenheim. And his contract, as I said, expires in 2027. So he got a contract extension in October 2023. So 2027. So there's been Hoffenheim have put a lot of sort of hope and value on a young 21-year-old. Again, likes to play down the middle. It's a position we're short on. Let's not beat around the bush. Aston Villa are going to be linked to loads of strikers this season and summer. We are going to be. We cannot go into the season with just Ollie Watkins. We have to be able to have depth there. And with John Duran probably going out, we need someone coming in. So he's a centre forward there. Okay. Well, what a catch over, Max. Just watch the skills vid. Very, very good. Exactly. Be excited about this guy, by the way. But because the likes of Chelsea, Man United have been linked with him and also now us, it's a weird one. Current market value is, and again, people say don't take the market value seriously on transfer market. Well, his release clause is apparently 30 million, according to a couple of sources that I've looked at. So just be aware of that. He's also made his German national debut in a friendly on June the 3rd, 2024. And you will not believe it, but he's gone and made it into the Euro squad. So now watching the Euros, keep an eye on this guy. Keep an eye on our one and only Maximilian Beier because he's now in the Euros. He's played 9% of the minutes. He's had one appearance. So I think that means he's only had 9 minutes. And though we will or may not see more of him. But yeah, oh no, he had, 25 minutes of game time. But this is the stat I want us to look at down here. His season for Hoffenheim. All I can say is, give me a bit of Maximilian Beier. Bundesliga, 33 games, 16 goals, 3 assists, a goal every 153 minutes. What more can I say? That is fantastic returns for a team in Hoffenheim. Hoffenheim. Let's be real here. A team who, dare I say, if anyone can answer me, where did Hoffenheim finish in the league? Were they even in the top 5? Because for goal returns like that, geez Louise, people. 33 games, 16 goals, 3 assists. How can you not get excited about that sort of profile? Unbelievable stats in the Bundesliga. And now you go, and I can hear these voices in my head. Josh, but players who come from the Bundesliga flop in the Premier League. There's always someone who flops. There's always this debate. They can't come from the Bundesliga. They never perform. Josh, it's not going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Look, I'll say it again. First of all, Florian Plettenberg, who is the source of information, who's tipped this one off. I'm not exactly saying he's a good tier source. Number 2 is that we've only shown concrete interest. But if I absolutely look at his profile and I look at this type of striker, and let's go just to the numbers before I even get opinions. 33 games, 16 goals, 3 assists, 19 GA in 33 games. Hey, guess what? We've also got a striker in Ollie Watkins who's had 19 GA in a competition. Sorry, not even 19 GA. Let me rephrase that. We've had a striker in Ollie Watkins who knows what the number 19 means as well. So, look, John Duran, he's going, as Rachel said. Another striker will need to come in, and Rachel is exactly spot on. I want to shout out again, big up to Vamos VJ, big up the VV. Vamos the VJ, thank you so much for the super chat again. And really always appreciate the support. No joke, it's absolutely incredible. And Alan Ford is saying he's loved the skill video. And look, there is a lot to watch in this guy. I will also now be doing some digging on Maximilian Beier and, of course, Italian wonder kid in Michael Cabaye. But what I will want to say is this. Both sources are not elite level sources. So don't get your hopes up too much. Number two, I feel like if I had to choose one or the other, I think it's two positions we're going to need, a striker and a right back. I'd probably put more of the Italian league with Michael Cabaye as a higher one. Reasons for it is Matty Cash, I feel like, is off to Italy. We've already seemed to got a bit of interest with Italian clubs, with Juve, with Milan, looking at some of our players. So definitely there's been some communication in Italy of some sort and representatives out there. But I tell you what, if Maximilian Beier is available and we are genuinely more than concrete interest, then please give me it. So that's my roundup for today. If you are in here, please make sure you've put the thumbs up button. Thanks for everyone who's just either listened or got involved in the comments. Hopefully you take my breakdown of each player seriously and you have a look at my sources and how I'm not saying that Maximilian Beier or Michael Cabaye are coming to Aston Villa. What I'm saying is that we've had two sorts of journalists spout out that we're interested in them. One's gone a bit stronger and said we've put an offer in, a potential first offer of 15 million plus add-ons for the right back Michael Cabaye. And the other said we've got concrete interest. But what is definitely going to happen is that Iling Jr is going to have his medical tomorrow. Ian Matson's probably going to have his announced the here we go moment. And of course, as well, do keep your eyes out on Lamar Bogard going to Nottingham Forest in the background of all of this. 30th of June is upon us, 6 days' time. We need to make sure everything's registered correctly. Can we get 35 likes before we dip out of here? Up the bloody Villa. Much love to all of you. And listen, who knows what news I'll be reporting tomorrow, but it's 10 p.m. slot. England as well, if you're watching it, close your eyes. It may not be pretty, but we'll see what happens. Much love. Big up to everyone who's in the chat today. Rachel, to VJ, to Paul, to Alan Ford, my lord, to Will Munder, to Ken Ems, to Solly, to Michael, and to everyone else who's been watching, Julia, and listening. Your support is always much appreciated. Look after yourselves, guys. Enjoy England tomorrow if you can, and I'll see you for more Villa news at 10 p.m. Ta-da!